Greetings and good tidings. In today's video lesson, we are going to be reviewing how to round whole numbers and decimal numbers. These are skills that you practiced with Mrs. Herrera, Ms. Graebner, and Mr. Slider earlier this week. The first number that we're going to be looking at is rounding 12,549,501 to the nearest thousand place. Now, before I start rounding, there are a few things that I'm going to want to do first. The first thing that I want to do is create my rounding chart that Mrs. Herrera showed you to help me see whether the number is going to stay the same or increase by 1. So I'm going to write my digits 0 through 9. On the board and put a line in between the 4 and the 5. My 0 through 4 digits are going to make the number stay the same. So we're going to add 0 to these numbers. And my digits 5 through 9, these are going to add 1, which will make it grow just a little bit. The next thing that I want to do is create a place value chart for the number that I have. I see that I have 2 commas, which means that I need to go to my ones, thousands, millions, period. I'm going to go ahead and add the 100 millions into my place value chart just in case, but it doesn't look like I need it for this one. My numbers are so big today that I cannot use 2 columns. I can only use 1 column. So I'm going to try my best to write neatly for you so that you can see my place values. Oh, I accidentally put HM instead of TM for my 10 millions, trying to skip that spot. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and plug those numbers into my place value chart. 12,549,501. It said to round to the nearest thousand place. So when I look in my place value chart, I see that the 9 is in my thousand place. So I circle that, underline that, I underline the 9, and then I'm going to circle my 5. This 5 is going to tell me whether the 9 will grow or whether the 9 will stay the same. As I look at my chart, I see that my 5 is in my plus 1. Everything to the right of the number that I underlined is going to stay the same. So this would be 12,500,004. When I get to this 9, I saw that it was plus 1. What is 9 plus 1? 9 plus 1 is 10, but I can't squeeze a 10 in there. That's not going to work. So what I'm actually going to do is put a 0 here, and then this 4 is going to have to grow plus 1. So this is actually going to become 12,550,000. And then everything to the right of my place being rounded becomes a 0. So 12,549,501 rounded to the nearest thousandth place is actually going to become 12,550,000 because this 9 right here is actually going to grow into a 10, which causes our next place to grow. Let's look at another whole number example. This time, we are going to round our number to the nearest 10,000th place. All right, if you have enough space in your place value chart, you can just write underneath, or if you want, you can erase it if you're doing dry erase. I'm going to go ahead and plug in 328,461,201 into my place value chart. This time we're rounding to the nearest 10,000. So I'm going to look in my place value chart to see the digit in my 10,000s place. That would be my 6. So I'm going to underline the 6. I circle the number to the right of my 10,000s place, which is the 1. And now I look in my rounding chart to see where that 1 is located. That 1 is in my +0 section, which means that that 6 is going to stay the same. Everything to the left of the 6 also stays the same. We said 6 plus 0 would be 6. Everything to the right of the 6 now becomes a 0. Great job with practicing rounding your whole numbers. Now we're going to practice rounding decimal numbers. We're going to have to round this number to the nearest whole number. Now, sometimes it might say to the nearest place value. This time it says whole number. Whenever it says whole number, it always means the ones place. So I'm going to plug my number into my place value chart. I'm actually going to make a new place value chart since we have decimals. And then I will plug my number into my place value chart. For this number, since it says whole number, that means the ones place. So I will underline the digit in the ones place, which is the 7. I'm going to circle the digit in the place to the right, which would be that 2 in the 10th place. As I look, I see that the 2 is in the same portion of my chart, which means it's going to add 0 to stay the same. When we're rounding whole numbers, everything to the left of the place being rounded stays the same, and everything to the right of the place being rounded turns into a 0. But if you remember, with decimal points, it's a little bit different. So we're actually going to drop these zeros. I'm going to say poof, be gone. And this number is actually just going to be a 7. So 7 and 284 thousandths rounded to the nearest whole number is actually 7. No decimal point, no zeros. We have one more number that we are going to look at rounding today. This is 60 and 821 thousandths. And again, we're going to round this to the nearest whole number. I'm going to plug this into my place value chart here. I have to add an extra place because I have the tens this time also. And whole number always means which place? That's right, it means the ones place. So I'm going to underline the digit in my ones place, which is a 0. Then I'm going to circle the digit to the left in my tenths place, which is the 8. I'm now going to look at my chart to find my 8, and I can see that that 8 is in the +1 section. So that means that this is going to grow. So that 6, which is to the left of the place I'm rounding, is going to stay the same. That 0, we said that it grew by 1. And then everything to the right of the place that we round, we usually make those zeros. But again, since we have that decimal number, we are going to say poof, be gone, which means that this number, 60 and 821 thousandths, rounded to the nearest whole number, is going to be 61. All right, guys and gals, thank you so much for practicing with me today. You are now going to complete your rounding study guide to help you be successful on your rounding quiz. Have a great day.